Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. You are watching Food for Thought with Barbara Cooking-Diva. Yeah, that's me. That's right. You're in a safe place where we get together to talk about the 4 major F's in my life and perhaps your life too. That's faith, family, finance, and of course, food. Every Sunday, I bring to you some deliciousness that I'm cooking up from my kitchen. And at the end of the month, I sit down with one of my favorite people, professionals, to talk about one of the other major F's. So coming up this month, next Sunday, we're going to be talking about finances, right? We're going to look into taxes, filing your taxes, what kind of tax break you can get, how does the pandemic impact your filing this year, all that good stuff. And I will be sitting down with none other than my hubby, who is an accountant and tax preparer, and he's going to walk you through some of the do's and don'ts this year when you go to file your taxes. So that's coming up next Sunday. But today, let's cook. I'm going to share with you what I'm going to cook in a few minutes. But don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Come on, we need to grow this base. I need all my foodies out there to go ahead and hit that subscribe button right down there. Hit it. Way out way far. We've been gathering for a couple of months now. Go on, hit that subscribe button, like and share. You like the content, you'll have more to come in the future. Go ahead, hit that button, like, and let's get right into it. Let's cook. Today I am making oxtails. Oh yeah, it's gonna be delicious. Let's get started. So let's talk about making a succulent, juicy, tender oxtails. Now oxtail, I have my oxtail marinated here, and I'll walk you through what I use to marinate my meats, and especially oxtail, to give it that nice, robust, just highly flavored oxtail. I go in hard on my herbs, not only for their culinary value, but for their medicinal value as well. So I marinate with rosemary, thyme, and oregano. These are the 3 leafy herbs that I use. In combination, I chop them up fine, and then I use it as part of the marinade. I also go in hard on garlic. Garlic makes everything taste better, and it's great for your blood pressure as it acts as a vasodilator, opening up the blood vessels, thereby lowering the pressure in your arteries. So that's some good stuff coming from garlic, and it makes things taste super good. All right. And then, of course, I need my spice. You know I love my spice, so I hit it with some Scotch bonnet pepper and season with salt and pepper and a little paprika and some dry herbs that I have. So this has been marinating now for about 2 hours, and I'm gonna get ready to put it on. I'm first gonna brown off the meat before I add liquid, and in this case the liquid is water, and then I'll put the pressure cooker on. I'm using a pressure cooker to cook it because it cooks much faster. It's a very fibrous meat, part of the meat, and it takes a while to cook if you're not using a pressure cooker. And for time and convenience, I'm using my handy dandy pressure cooker to tenderize the oxtail. Now I don't pressure it for no more than about 20 minutes, because while I want it to be nice and tender, I don't want it mushy where it's completely falling off the bone and it's just a lot of mushed up meat. I want them nice and tender, but they're still on the bone, that they just slide off when I dig into it, all right? So that's what we're gonna get ready to do. I'm heating my pressure cooker. I have olive oil. You know, you always cook with healthy fat. So I have olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. I just put about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil in the pan, and I'm gonna heat that over medium heat before I put the oxtail in, and I'm just gonna brown them off a little bit and then add my liquid, cover, and let it do its thing. So what's going along with my oxtail? Well, I have this medley of veggie, and I'm going to give this a nice saute. So this is cabbage, spinach, some yellow squash, and onions and tomato, all nicely shredded and cut up, ready to go. I'll saute this towards the end of cooking the oxtail, so everything gets ready around about the same time, plus it doesn't take that long. I also have some broccoli. You notice I'm making my meal really inclusive of a lot of vegetables, some green leafy vegetables, some broccoli. These are all rich in important nutrients, right? And it helps to boost your metabolism to burn fat. You know, we are in the reset period. 2021 is a reset where we're resetting our mind, our bodies, our soul, everything, as we've been off from a major just traumatic year, 2020, for most of us, if not all of us, right? We've all been impacted. So we want to start the year out right, where we start feeding our bodies well to optimize our health. So that's why you'll find my dishes really heavy on the vegetables. All right, so I have some beans that I'm gonna add to the oxtail later when I cook it down and kind of cook down the sauce that will come from its own juices. So that's what's going on. Check me back in a second. Well, we will start browning off the oxtails and get that going. So if you haven't made oxtails before and you're trying it for the first time, a couple of tips. Make sure when you buy your oxtail, you have them trim off the fat. It's a very fatty part of the cow, and so it has a lot of cholesterol in it. And we want to lower cholesterol based on the food we eat, but it's also a very delicious part of the cow, right? So go ahead and have them trim the fat off. I like my oxtail nice and lean, as much as we can get it. So there's no fat. You don't see any white stuff there. I had them trim off the fat. So I'm going to go ahead now and we're going to add that to the pressure cooker. And I'm just going to have it brown off a little bit before I actually add some liquid. You can add a little bit of stock. If you have beef stock, you can go ahead and add that. It will definitely help to flavor your oxtail, especially the sauce. However, if you don't, just use water. It is perfectly fine. Plus, if you season really well and marinate your oxtail really well by adding water, it will just incorporate with the flavors and give you that nice juicy sauce at the end. So don't worry about it. If you don't have stock, beef stock, just go ahead, add some water. So I'm gonna let that brown off a bit before I add liquid, about 2 cups of water, put it on and pressure for 20 minutes. And then once I'm done pressuring, I'll check for doneness by just using a fork and stick into the meat, and if it's nice and tender, no resistance, and you know it's ready, it's cooked, and then you can start cooking down the sauce by adding your beans and just allow it to simmer and allow the sauce to thicken. The beans, I have here butter beans, which is quite delicious in oxtails. It will allow the sauce to thicken because of the starch that's in it. Plus, it has some protein in it as well. So again, more nutrients added to your dish. And then I made, to go along with this, some. Okay guys, so I'm getting ready to add my liquid and cover the oxtail and let it pressure for about 20 minutes. That's how long it will take to become tender to where I like it. All right, so I'm adding just about a pint of water, just enough to cover it. I don't want to add too much water because I also want just enough liquid to tender the oxtail, and then I can allow the rest of the liquid to simmer into a sauce that will go along with it. So things are looking quite nice. They're going really, really well with the oxtail. That's going to be on medium high, and I'm gonna get ready in a few minutes to saute my veggies, give the broccoli a little bit of finish with a little bit of garlic, or I may just add it to the steamed veggies here at the very, very end. So quick and easy. You marinate your oxtail with fresh herbs such as rosemary, thyme, garlic, definitely some oregano if you can have it, if you can find it. Garlic is a must, and let that sit for a couple of hours. If you don't have that much time, go ahead, marinate it, give it a few minutes, and then you can start cooking it. So to go along with my oxtail, I made some yellow rice and quinoa. Now quinoa is a grain, and it is the only grain that has all 7 essential amino acid proteins. It's a grain, but it's loaded with protein as well as fiber, and it tastes delicious. So I mixed it with rice. So I did a 2-to-1. I put 2 cups of quinoa and a cup of rice together, and I used turmeric, which is the root vegetable that is grinded down into a yellow powder-like substance, and I'll show it to you quickly. So this is turmeric. Really, really great anti-inflammatory. You can get it this way, or you can get the root turmeric. It looks like ginger, and you can use it in your dish. I love using it in my rice. You can use it to make a tea. I also use turmeric to make this turmeric and ginger tea, and I use it because both turmeric and ginger is vital to fighting inflammation in the body. And I've been really having a hard time with my shoulder. I have some inflammation in the shoulder I hurt a couple of years ago, and it's a bit swollen because it's inflamed. So I have been drinking my turmeric, ginger, and lemon. All I do, I put 2 quarts of water, I put 4 ounces of ginger, 4 to 6 ounces of ginger, 2 tablespoons of turmeric, the powder, 2 tablespoons of the turmeric powder, 1 lime sliced, and 1 lemon. I let that boil for about 8 minutes, and then I use an immersion blender to puree the whole thing. So I suck everything, all the oils from the skin of the lime and lemon, the ginger, everything, and then I run it through a strainer, and voila, I have this really, really helpful, and it's actually quite good tea. You can drink it cold, you can drink it hot in the morning. I like to warm it in the morning and just have it before I have anything else. Let that just sit and do what it needs to do before I have anything 45 minutes later, 45 to an hour later before I eat anything. All right, so we're gonna check what's going on with the oxtail. and then start working on the veggies. So I will be right back. Okay guys, so I'm just about ready to check on the oxtail. It's been about 20 minutes since it's been pressuring. Should be nice and tender. All right, so things are looking good. And yep, it is so tender. You can see it goes right through the fork. It's a nice and tender. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna get ready to finish it off. I'm gonna add the beans and allow it to cook down and thicken into a nice, juicy, succulent sauce. And then I'm gonna finish off this dinner by sauteing my vegetable. I'm gonna give it a light saute, and that will take care of the veggies. I have my turmeric rice that I made earlier, so that's gonna go along with the oxtail and the sauteed veggies. And then on top of the veggies, I'm just gonna toss these broccoli florets that I have here and finish off dinner. So in a few minutes, dinner will be done. Let's get to sauteing this veggie. I'm gonna heat my pan. I've already added a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. And I'm going to just give this a light saute. I like my vegetable a bit crunchy, not soft, not too saggy. You don't cook the vegetable or overcook them because you're really depleting the nutrient value of the veggies. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add that to my pan. And here I had everything already cut up to go. I have garlic, onion, I have some tomato, diced cabbage and spinach. And of course, I added also a julienne of summer squash, those yellow squash. Just cut it really fine and added it in as well. So this is going to take a few minutes to cook. I'll add onto the end, I'll add in the broccoli, and then voila, it will be done. So check back in a few minutes and dinner will be all finished. So guys, this is it. My succulent, juicy, delicious oxtails. Yum. And that's gonna be served with some turmeric rice and a medley of steamed vegetable. Absolutely delicious. It's healthy and it really is satisfying. And then I'm just gonna hit this with a little bit of parsley, with this parsley chop, and finish off this dish. There you have it. All right guys, so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and join me again in my kitchen, where you're in a safe place, where I take on one of the 4 major F's in my life and perhaps your life too. That's faith, family, finance, and of course, the goodness, food. So, see you next week. I post every Sunday, and I'll be back with a special guest when we sit down to talk about some finance next Sunday. Have a great week. See you soon. Bye.